Yo guys, Kaiji King 3000 here. Today, first off, I want to say I'm sorry if I haven't been so active on this channel lately. I've just been so busy with, doing life stuff, school and all that shit. But I'm still around, don't worry about that. Anyway, so guys, the film is finally out, and let's talk about it. So, Godzilla vs. Kong. We have waited 2 years for this film because this film was supposed to be out in May of last year. Then it got pushed to November last year. Then it got pushed again to March, which was March 31st. And it's finally here. And I was so scared too because I thought that it was going to get pushed again because it got pushed 2 times already, and yeah, and I'm so glad it's finally out because lately all we were getting was just freaking pictures of the same banners in different colors and just leaks of toys, and all we can do was assume and such, and we got very, very little clips of just trailers or teasers and such, but not an actual trailer. And that was another thing too, is that we all wanted the trailer, but they didn't release at the time, and they just kept giving us freaking clips, like tiny clips, like 1-second clips of the film, and that's literally all we got. So yeah guys, it's been a wild ride, but we finally made it. We are finally here. The film's out. We all probably seen it by now, and yeah. So the film, it's basically about, it's in the title, Godzilla fights Kong, really. And man, a lot happened in this film, so let's talk about it. So the film opens up with Kong on Skull Island, and later on he realizes that it's not Skull Island, it's a fake virtual island, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then the second intro of the film, Godzilla is out destroying the city, and then there's this guy who, I forgot the name, but I guess he works for Apex. He believes that Apex has been building something that's a cover-up, and he's trying to get to the bottom of it, basically. And when Godzilla is destroying a town, the company Apex has to leave and evacuate, and their building gets destroyed, and there's a big metal red part that was glowing red that the guy saw. And I guess this was supposed to be the eye of Mechagodzilla that we were seeing at first, and then later on the eye disappears, and yeah. But later on in the film we found out that it was a part for Mechagodzilla, and that, and man, seeing Mechagodzilla in this film was just amazing, because now I can say in my lifetime that I saw a Godzilla film that had Mechagodzilla, and it was just awesome. Even if he didn't have that much screen time in the whole entire film, it was still nice to fucking see him. I won't lie. Anyway, so I guess not Monarch, these people who are watching Kong, they want to help Kong get the Hollow Earth to do study or get some kind of power from the Hollow Earth. I forgot, but I think it was to get some kind of power source from Hollow Earth, or either that or to find a way to defeat Godzilla, basically. I don't know. The whole thing was kind of confusing. And so yeah, they used Kong to get the Hollow Earth and to take him to Antarctica. But before that, they were trying to transfer him into a ship. Not into a ship, on a ship. But Godzilla comes up and he fucking beats the shit out of Kong, and yeah, so they have to carry him by helicopters, which is kind of a cool reference to the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, where he's being lifted by helicopters and such, so that's nice. That's a nice reference, if I do say so myself. And one thing I want to note too is that the scene where Kong is eating fish, I like that because it reminded me so much of the scene from the movie called Godzilla 1998, where Zilla is eating fish, in New York City. And I know it's probably not intentional, nor that was supposed to be a reference to that or a callback or anything like that, but I liked it because it reminded me of that. So I just want to say that. Anyway, so yeah, Kong goes to Hollow Earth and he finds the axe, and it turns out they have been fighting for centuries and such, and yeah, and Hollow Earth too is kind of an interesting concept because I guess it's in the Hollow Earth as it's stated, and there's monsters there. There's a freaking flying snakes called warbats. I guess they're called warbats. There's freaking bugs, lizards, and shit, and it's an interesting concept. And I heard too that the monsters that are in Hollow Earth mostly stay asleep, and that's why they all kind of awoke when Kong showed up, because I guess most of them were fucking sleeping, and then Kong shows up and kind of wakes them up, And yeah, so yeah, Kong finds the axe. Then Godzilla is in Hong Kong, and he senses Kong that's in Hollow Earth, and he literally blows a atomic breath into the ground of the Earth, and it shoots all the way down to Hollow Earth. And he knows Kong's down there. He wants Kong. He's like, "Bitch, come up here, come up here," and shit, And I loved that scene. It was just awesome. It was awesome to know that Godzilla knew Kong was just below the Earth, and that he literally used his atomic breath to find him, basically. And yeah, it was awesome. So Godzilla and Kong fight in Hong Kong, and the fight was pretty good. So Kong lost the first round, and that was the battle in the ocean with the ships and shit. And Kong won the second round because he had the axe, and he just annihilated Godzilla. Well, I wouldn't say that, but just knocked him out for a quick second. Then literally after like 2 minutes after they said that Kong won this round, or I think it was 1 minute actually, 1 minute, Godzilla gets back up and he literally beats the shit out of Kong, and pretty much kills him. He wasn't dead, but like he pretty much just killed him. Basically, he was dying, and yeah, pretty much. Now I hate this, but people said that when they're watching this film, they keep saying that there wasn't an actual winner because of the fight with the team up with Mechagodzilla. How towards the end of the film, Godzilla and Kong team up against Mechagodzilla, and people keep saying that there wasn't an actual winner because of that team up, basically. But guys, did you even watch the film? Clearly, Godzilla won the fight. Okay, he won the fight, and yeah, the team up did happen at the end, yeah, but he still won the fight, basically. So, yeah. Anyway, so Godzilla annihilates King Kong, and he's freaking dying and shit. And then, I guess the tech that was on Hollow Earth, that was actually being transported to Apex, because I guess there's these people who worked for Apex that were secretly trying to trick the good guys into getting the tech because they wanted to use it to power Mechagodzilla, basically. So, here's the weird thing too. They are using King Ghidorah's head, which I called it, but not in the way you think. Okay, so it's kind of confusing, but like the way they're doing it is that King Ghidorah's head is basically just a big control room, basically. It's just a big control room where the guy sits there, and it's basically kind of like a virtual reality kind of thing. He puts the helmet on, he can see through things, he can control it, kind of like a virtual reality kind of thing. You know what I mean? But it's really, really confusing because the skull is in a whole nother room, but somehow it can power Mechagodzilla. And I want to say this real quick. It's worth noting that the film's plot is really, really confusing, and everyone can agree on that. The plot is just really confusing, and that's okay, really. But still, like, it's confusing because when you actually think about how they're using the head of freaking King Ghidorah from Mechagodzilla, it's just confusing on how they're actually doing it, because it doesn't make really that much sense if you really think about it. So, yeah. Anyway, so the tech in the Hollow Earth, that's being put into Mechagodzilla, and then I guess somehow it makes it like alive, because afterwards it just disconnected from the owner, like the power of the owner, basically, and it literally kills him in the process. And now Mechagodzilla is like on a rampage, like he's loose, like he's now doing everything on his own instead of being controlled by the owner, basically. So yeah, somehow the Hollow Earth tech made him alive. That's the best way to explain it, It made him power himself. And I think too that it's actually the spirit of Kevin's head that's doing that, actually. Because I don't know if it's the Hollow Earth tech that's making Mechagodzilla like power himself, or it's also the fact that it's the head of King Ghidorah that's doing that. I don't know. It hasn't really been confirmed, really. But I like to think it's the head of King Ghidorah that's doing that, actually. So in a way, King Ghidorah in this film is actually Mechagodzilla, basically. So yeah. Anyway, Mechagodzilla gets loosed and he goes. And here's the thing too. So he comes out of the volcano, not volcano, the freaking mountain of Hong Kong, and he beats the shit out of Godzilla. I mean, yeah, the fight was just so fucking awesome. Shit, it was awesome to see that on the big screen. But he beats the shit out of Godzilla, you know, and yeah. So Kong is still dying on the ground, you know. He's like, ugh. And it's really funny too, because like I remember people saying, and there was so many people who said that Kong was gonna win this fight, and that they said, "Oh, Kong's big monkey," and shit, you know. But now Kong is just literally on the ground going, ugh. So yeah, Kong fans, I'm sorry, but that's kind of what you deserve. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, Kong is dying, and they're trying to help him like live, bring him back to life. So they use one of the machines, which is the heave that they used to power Kong's heart because his heart is slowing down, and it works. He's back to life, and the kid who's with Kong, she tells him that Godzilla is not the real enemy, and that it's Mechagodzilla, and to help save Godzilla basically. And this is where the awesome part happens. They both team up against Godzilla. I mean, not Godzilla, freaking Mechagodzilla. And the way it happens is that Mechagodzilla is literally gonna like do the same move that the Godzilla did to the Mutos, where he opens a mouth and just shoots atomic breath into the mouth. Mechagodzilla is literally gonna do the exact same thing to Godzilla, which is really, really dark if you think about it, because that's payback kind of payback kind of thing, you know. Which he didn't do anything wrong, but you know what I mean. That's kind of dark because he did that to the Mutos. Now he was gonna feel how he. I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry. How he was gonna, because he did that to the Mutos. Now he was gonna experience what it was like being a Muto in that scene. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Mechagodzilla was about to kill him, but then Kong jumps in the air and then literally just goes on top of Mechagodzilla and just pulls him away and just fights him. Then the two fight Mechagodzilla, and it's just an awesome fight, really. Sadly, Godzilla was fighting pretty good in this team-up fight, yeah, but he was still getting knocked the fuck out, and he was still pretty weak, actually. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it's just in general, you know, like, he just couldn't fight that much, because Mechagodzilla literally just beat his ass in this film. And it's worth noting, too, that Mechagodzilla was freaking massive in this film. He was massive. He was bigger than Godzilla and Kong. So, yeah. And it's worth noting too that Mechagodzilla was literally built just to take out Godzilla. And I guess the purpose of him in this film was that the reason why he was built in the first place was to take out Godzilla. However, in the Playmates figures, they said that the reason why he was in the film because he was meant to take out all the monsters and end the monster race, basically. Even the good ones and the bad ones, basically. However, in this film, they make it seem like it's actually used to just destroy Godzilla, and that's it, really. So, yeah, I don't know. So, Kong is actually the one who destroys Mechagodzilla. Yes, Godzilla helped, yeah, but Kong finishes the job, and it's just awesome, because he uses the axe at first, then Godzilla just powers the axe with his atomic breath, you know, and then Kong uses it on Mechagodzilla, and he literally just chops his arms off and shit, you know, and then he literally just rips his head off. He literally rips Mechagodzilla's head off, and that's just awesome. And I know people might be upset that Kong took him out instead of Godzilla, but if you really think about it, it's really cool because King Kong is mostly a monster for the American audience, and Godzilla is mostly a monster for the Japanese audience. So it's nice to see, and in a way, this film is kind of a crossover too, if you think about it, even though it's all connected in the same universe. It's nice to see an American monster take out an original kaiju Japanese monster from the Godzilla series or franchise, whatever. So it's pretty interesting if you really think about it. So yeah, towards the end of the film, Godzilla and Kong face off one last time, but not in the fight. You know, to just look at each other and then pretty much say their goodbyes. You know, Godzilla goes back into the ocean, then Kong goes into Hollow Earth, and that's his new home. That's where he becomes King Kong, pretty much. So yeah, so that's it for the film, guys. My thoughts on the film. So, the film I thought was amazing. It was pretty good. Some of the things in this film, like plot-wise, was just kind of confusing, you know? And, yeah, for instance, I thought this guy right here, I thought he was supposed to be the son of what's the guy's name? Freaking, I don't know. I'll pull a picture of him. But I thought this guy was supposed to be the son of that guy. But I don't know. They don't really explain that in the film, nor did they actually give confirmation that it's his son. I guess it's supposed to be just some new character. However, maybe I'm wrong because I guess recently I just found out that the freaking the director of the film actually has enough footage to film a 5 hour cut of the film. And there was a bunch of stuff that was deleted and cut out basically. So maybe one of those deleted scenes we might actually see more of those stories for the characters like this guy and that guy and such, you know. But yeah. I don't know. I was kind of let down too because I thought this guy was supposed to be the main villain, but I guess he wasn't. He was mostly just a side villain. And I know it's just a human character, but still, I was kind of I thought they made us think that he was the main villain, you know, and I was expecting more from this character, but I guess it's whatever. I guess so yeah, film wise, like graphics, the effects and all that shit, no, they were spot on. They were amazing. Watching the fight scenes in the big screen, like in the theater, watching all that on the big screen was just fucking amazing. And yes, I did go to the theater and watch it. I didn't watch it on the Fire Stick or freaking HBO Max or anything like that. I just went to the theater and watched it because it's Godzilla. You have to watch it on the big screen no matter what. However, if you're one of the unlucky ones whose theaters haven't opened yet, then I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this film, in my opinion, is probably the best one out of the MonsterVerse series. So the way I have it rated is that it goes from this film being the first, and then freaking King of the Monsters second, Skull Island third, and then Godzilla fourth. That's how I rate it. I'm not saying the films are bad, but said this film just comes off as being a better film in the whole series. You know what I mean? And I think we can all agree on that, or at least some of us can, because I know people who watched the film said that King of the Monsters was still better than this film, and I can see that. But for my personal opinion, I think this film was better than King of the Monsters, and yeah. So yeah, man, I'm sorry, but yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the film. I'm just glad it's finally out. I'm glad that we finally get to see it. And yeah, it's just an awesome film. I won't lie. I know people might say otherwise because either they hated that Godzilla won or freaking they hated the team up. Some people actually do hate the team up, which I thought was pretty awesome in my opinion. But I guess people hated that Godzilla vs Kong. Oh my god, what am I saying? I'm so sorry. I guess people hated the fact that how King Kong and Godzilla teamed up in this film. And people hate how Mechagodzilla got so little screen time, which I thought he got a decent amount of screen time. I mean, yeah, he was kind of just in this film for a short period of time, but they stretched him out throughout the entire film. And I felt like he had a pretty decent amount of screen time. So, yeah, and either way, Mechagodzilla was not a letdown. He was actually pretty damn terrifying, massive, and just really, really awesome to see on the big screen, But all I can say about Mechagodzilla is that he was fucking terrifying. Because there's a scene in the film, too, where he takes out a skull collar, and the way he does it, that he grabs it by the two arms, and then just shoots the hell out of it with his laser. And, yeah, and even with him, going on a rampage, and now he's powering by himself, that's even more scary to watch, actually, because now it's a robot on the loose, He's not being controlled by anyone, actually. He's just controlling himself, and that how aggressive he was towards Godzilla and such, it's just kind of terrifying, actually, And I love that. I love that. This might actually be my favorite Mechagodzilla ever in the whole franchise. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. This film did pretty good in my opinion. I know it's doing well now because it's doing pretty good at the box office, so that's good to hear. So, yeah, guys, I rate this film a 10 out of 10. Pretty fucking good. Go watch it. The plot is kind of confusing at times, but the monster fights and the characters are good in my opinion. They're pretty good in my opinion. I won't lie. So, yeah, if you guys haven't seen this film, go check it out. It's an awesome film, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys next time. Later. Why am I holding this? I don't know why I was holding that.